Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Happy Good Friday. I know it's been a while, it's been like a month of this crazy journey that I'm going through. Before we start, please like and subscribe, leave a comment. Let me know what you think of the video. Let me know what subjects you want to talk about. And let's get started. I'm going to talk about why I haven't been on for like a month. Being a Christian is not easy, as you know, we all know. We have a lot of challenges. I just trying to do what God put us here to do. There's a lot of us with different talents that God gives us. It's just trying to find that talent that we have. I think is something that most of us strive for, right, in life, and I'm kind of struggling with that. In the sense of I always question, am I doing the right thing? Uh, you know, is this the way to do it? It's kind of difficult when you see other people in your community, in the sense of, you know, excuse me, I have to bring the phone down in case anybody calls, right? Now, this is one of the main drugs that we all have. And always comparing. And I'm that type of person. I always compare myself to a lot of other people, which it's wrong in the first place. You know, I don't envy. I used to envy people, but I don't envy anyone, because I know envying somebody is part of what the devil wants us to do. What I realized this past month, couple of weeks, that the devil really hits us on our weakness. And, I figured out what are our weaknesses. I think our weaknesses is what we really like that belongs to the world. Like some of us are so into, social media, of wanting to find out what other people think or what's the latest, and focusing on that. I use only social media, as you can tell. I don't have that many followers. I just want to spread the word as much as I can, or maybe just touch the people that I know. Maybe they're going through a rough day, and maybe something I said in one of these videos, could help them. Like I said before, we all have different talents. Is figuring out what talents that God gave us, and some people don't even realize it. I got a lot of brothers and sisters in Christ from my church, from my Bible study reading, that I really know them from, that, they start as teachers in schools and all that. Meanwhile, to me, I think their talent is serving other people. I noticed one in particular, where when I first came in, that person was so upfront and loud and joyful, and it kind of got me a little like set back. I said, okay, this is weird, coming from New York and going into Texas, which is a whole different world. And it was kind of a little bit scary, but I felt comfortable. I felt at home, at ease. And that's a quality that people that teach and serve other people bring you, that calm energy, right? And I tell you, it's a feeling where you're comfortable. I had a feeling I was comfortable enough, but not comfortable enough to really open up like I should, right? And I think doing these videos helps me understand and process that situation that I'm going through. And hopefully I can open up through these videos. Like I said, it's that person, I don't want to mention names because I don't know that person will be offended. I don't want to offend anybody. But to me, that person is not only was a teacher. Well, I don't know if she retired. I know her husband retired, but she would always be, attending and interested in how people are doing. And I kind of find that very, very, what's the word? I find that wonderful that, you know, she didn't, like it didn't affect her. She, out of the goodness of the heart, you can tell it came from the heart that she was interested in how we were all doing and make sure that we all uh, gave her not the attention, but gave her the information so she can get to us whichever way, just to find out how we were doing. And not just her, but a lot of them. But she stands out the most because now, her servicing children with her husband, who's also a teacher, he just retired. Now they're serving their parents, and I think that's the most beautiful thing uh, that I see as coming from a person who's uh, Latino. I'm not going to say Latino X. This politically correct stuff, I think, is kind of dumb. But as a person who's Latin, right, and Latino, our culture is very family uh, orientated, right? At least most of us, 90%. And I find that so wonderful that another culture, right? You know, it's almost similar as ours in the sense not everybody's going to take the challenge of taking care of their parents, where they should be, enjoying their retirement, and do it with so, uh, doing it with so much, the words, doing it so much from the heart that they don't even think about themselves. And I think that's something so incredible. And I admire that. I admire that because I'm going through the same thing, taking care of my parents, uh, leaving what I consider what I wanted as a young person, the house, the white picket fence, the dog, the 2 cars. I always picture that being okay. If I get there, I'm great, and realizing that none of that matters. What matters to me is making sure that my mom and dad, are taken care of. Dad at a certain age where they can't do certain things, and not everybody wants to take that responsibility because then they got to put their lives on hold. And some of us, don't realize that whatever we have here, we're not going to take when we die. We're not going to take it to heaven. I mean, it's kind of ridiculous, right? We are right now, when we were born, we started to die. So we're on borrowed time all the time, correct? And I think that we should sometimes look at the easy things in the Bible, because sometimes we get overwhelmed and we start, doing different studies and not realizing that the simple things are what really going to connect you with God, which is, the Bible does say, honor thy father and honor thy mother, and some of us can't, in the sense, because sometimes they do need medical, and something that some of us can't deal with, but in the Latin culture, it doesn't matter. You do what you got to do to make sure that your parents are as happy as they can be, right? And also pray to God to give you that strength. I pray every day, and it's been a blessing in the sense of I get to be with them, all the time. I get to pay back in the sense, if you want to say it, of what they've done for me. Not a lot of us have good relationships with our parents. I can tell you in the beginning, my relationship with my dad wasn't as great as it can be, but in time, God made us open our eyes, especially with my dad, who for so many years wasn't born again, right? He was living that worldly life, and not such a good worldly life. But at the end, God always wins, right? And he gave himself to the Lord. He found his way, and that's it was also a motivation for me. Mend a lot of things that we need to mend, not just with him, but with everyone else. I mean, I wasn't such a good guy. I made a lot of stupid mistakes in my life, and I know I hurt a lot of people. And that's something that I don't have to remind myself unless I'm going to give my testimony to someone that maybe relates to what I went through. Because what's in the past should be buried in the past. It should never be dug up unless it's going to be dug up to help somebody see, because we're all blind. Once we're born, we're blind to this wonderful world of God, right? And but it's so awesome when you get to see and truly see what he has for us and what he's done for us. It's a feeling of having all that weight taken off and knowing that no matter what happens, he's there for you. He's going to lift you up. He's going to bless you. He's going to give you things that you said, but I didn't want that. And in time when you have it, and you say, oh, now I understand why he gave me this, or why did he put a certain person in my life. And that's the greatest feeling, when you start to understand. But then again, we're weak, right? If we were perfect, we wouldn't be here. And I struggle in the sense, as you guys know, we made that move from Texas to Puerto Rico, and my wife has to stay out in Texas until we can try to get that transfer. Thank God that she came a couple of weeks ago. A month ago, or a little bit more than a month ago, and it was great. We got to help her mom and her grandmother, which is another blessing, where we can help people that think they don't need, but they need. And it's just a little rough, where you start to doubt yourself, and why am I here? I know the whole stupid thing is, I ask these questions that I already know the answer to. I know why I'm here, but then then I ask myself, well, am I supposed to be here? Why is things didn't transition yet? And the great thing is that there's times I can't join the Zoom Bible studies from my church, you know, just for the simple fact that I'm trying to fix uh, fix this house for my mom and dad. Well, not fix, but make it more comfortable for them. Uh, Remember, we live in an island where if there's a hurricane, these lights go out for weeks. And it's very important that we either have generators or solars, and we decided to put solars on the house, which is great. We just finished putting them in. It took a while because of situations that's going on with COVID and everything else, with deliveries, but God made it happen. Right now, if there was a hurricane to come, at least we have light for a certain time and food won't go bad, and maybe we can help others at that time. So those are the things that I've been doing this whole month, and also trying to find myself a little bit more, because I think that my biggest problem is trying to solve everybody else's problem but mine, right? I want to know why the young kids today don't have that spirituality or why they don't see what I see. And I'm trying to find out, ask a lot of questions. Sometimes I get good answers. And the answer that I do get, I want to try to bring them on, and they're a little bit hesitant of coming on. They'll see, oh, you only got 4 subscribers. And I tell them it's not about how many subscribers that I have. It's about just opening up to me. And eventually whoever sees it might come to me, and I can give you that answer you're looking for. I would tell them, well, just listening to each other, because maybe I could answer them, answer their questions. And sometimes I learn from them. I learned that time to them is precious, right? That if they don't get a quick answer, they automatically shut down. And I find myself doing the same thing. And that's one of the struggles that I'm going through, is I want answers now. And I remember in one of my Bible studies, I remember the other day, in one of my Bible studies, our main teacher wasn't there, Paul, he wasn't there, but it was another teacher who is, to me, I think, one of the smartest women that I ever met. A little bit intimidating, because she's very, very smart. And she was teaching, her name is Jen. I hope I'm, saying it right. Oh, Jennifer. And she was giving a class about what is time and the difference between our time and God's time. And I realized that day that it's when He wants. It's not the time that we're thinking of. His time is totally different. And we have to understand that His time is different. Because what I got out of it was, I know everything that's going to happen. So I know when you need to see it. I know when you need to experience. And I understood that, hey, He has the control, right? He knows all. He knows everything. So He's going to know what time I need to solve the problem, right? So, and I figured, okay, what she's really saying is, listen, buddy, get over it. is when he wants, not when we want, right? And I struggle with being impatient. And sometimes, we pay the price. And what I mean by we pay the price, we start thinking, okay, I'm going to do God's job. I mean, I don't say that, but that's what we try to do. We try to do his work instead of letting him do what is best for us, right? We always think we know more, right? And I figured out that I don't know nothing compared to what he knows about me. And that's where, we have to take time and pray. You just got to take time to find people that are going to motivate us, right? And talk to people that are going to motivate you, even when you're busy at your busiest, right? It's just taking time out. And, sometimes we got to practice what we preach. And I definitely got to practice what we preach, what I preach, because you intend to, I don't say that I fall, but I just doubt myself and am I doing things right? And maybe because I didn't do things right, this is not happening. And all those worries. And I'm glad that I do a Bible study every week with my family, and which is kind of weird because everybody has a different outlook on how Christians should be, right? And I think it's great because when we have doubts, what we do, we go to where the source is, where the answers are, which is in the Bible. There's, we all get and say, okay, where does this say this? So we go and we look and we find it. And eventually, some of us go, oh, I didn't know that. And some of us say, you see, I was right. But the great thing is that we get together and we help each other find those things that are missing. And I think that's something that we all need to do, is find our comfort zone within our family in Christ, not just family in Christ, because sometimes we need that extra flashlight when we're in the tunnel to more or less see, right? So it's just been a struggle trying to find, trying to make these videos where I can help others, right? And when you think you're in a jam, you shouldn't try to help anyone. You have to help yourself first. And that was one of my biggest struggles, which I think I'm doing great at now, because I have to take time for myself to overcome whatever demons that come my way. Because, what I learned is the closer we get to God, the narrow is the road. The more narrow the road gets. And every time we walk closer, the wall starts to close in. And I look at myself and said, wow, when Jesus was being tortured while he was walking towards that mountain to be crucified, he must have felt the walls coming in, right? As he was walking, people were throwing rocks, spitting on him, doing all these things, hitting him. And I feel that when we walk closer to God, every time we hit a wall, it's like walking through a tunnel of, roses full of thorns. And the closer we get, the more we get scratched, the more we get cut. And sometimes we give up and say, oh, I don't want to go no more. And we look back and we try to step back and So, okay, I want to walk this way. That way I don't get cut. I still want to go, but I don't want to get cut. And I say this, if you think getting closer to Jesus was going to be an easy task, it's not. I mean, this is my personal opinion, in the sense of, I'll give you an example. The more popular you get, the more hate you're going to get, right? Because people want to be like you. So the more I get closer to God, the more the devil sends the demons to make you fall. And that's why I say that it's never going to be easy. And that's work that we have to do. He made it simple. This is what you need to do. Just follow it. It's hard for us to say, okay, I'm going to love my neighbor like I love myself. I'm going to love all my enemies. Somebody smacks me, it's like if Will Smith smacks me, I'm going to do what Chris Rock did, look back and not do anything. Not a lot of us would do that, right? I mean, that would have been me. I can't really, I'll be real honest. I think if Will Smith would have smacked me, or any man would smack me, I think my reaction will automatically, it's a physical reaction. But I learned that in so many scenarios that I was in after I was reborn, right? I have diffused so many scenarios where it could have gone to the left, where people that do know me say, oh, this ain't you. How somebody would ever talk to you like that, they wouldn't be around so much. Now it doesn't matter. But that's what happens when you get closer to God. You're going to have those demons attacking you and trying to make you fall. And, the cheat code is don't let that happen. And it's easy. Why? I mean, it's easy in the sense of we will know what to do. It's just that we have to apply it. A lot of us say, oh, I'm afraid of dying. I'll tell you this. I'm not afraid to die because I know God is going to be there for me. In the sense, I know where I'm going to go. Sometimes, I hope that's where I'm going to go, right? What I am afraid of is leaving our family. And I think that's one of the biggest fears that we have, is leaving our friends and our family behind. But we have to understand that where we're going to go is going to be like being with your family, right? And being happy. You don't have to worry how you look. You don't have to worry if you have money. You don't have to worry about anything, which is the greatest feeling in the world. How many of us would give to just live free, with no care in the world? It's like walking naked and nobody cares how you look. It's like living in New York. I'll tell you one thing. Living in New York, you have that freedom. It doesn't matter how you look. I mean, there's people, there's a cowboy who's naked in the sense of having his underwear and singing all over the streets. That's one of our biggest nightmares, of waking up in school with your underwears on, right? But in New York, nobody cares. It's like the other day where that shooter in the subway. Think about it. In Texas, if you see somebody with a uniform on, right, and a gas mask, you're gonna be like, okay, what is this guy doing? In New York, it's just another person. That's why it was so easy for him to just come in and get, surprise everyone, especially with this mask mandate. Now everybody has a mask. So now it became comfortable. It became ordinary. That means, people walk around with masks. So, they'll take advantage. Before, people were afraid to show their face. Now, since everybody's covering their face, people got used to the fact that, everybody's not a criminal, which is wrong. That's why New York right now, it's a battle zone. But it just shows us, well, shows me what I have to do and keep doing. And no matter if only one person sees this, or if nobody sees this, I know that God brought me here from Texas to Puerto Rico, not just to help my mom and dad, for something else. I don't know yet, but whatever it is, I know it's going to be the greatest blessings. Why? Because he wouldn't take away what he gave me. And what he gave me was a beautiful wife, a house, 2 dogs, 2 cars, all the stuff that I wanted and that I got working instead of doing all these crazy shortcuts that I used to do. And I hope that if anyone is struggling, they can go to a friend or just go to the Bible. It'll give you answers. It truly does. Ask anybody who's been to prison. What's the first thing they do is they grab the Bible, right? Why? Because it gives them hope. It gives them that ease. It gives them that calm. And if you're struggling like I was struggling, right? Because we all struggle. I don't care if you're super Christian, you're going to struggle. Just go to the Bible or go to someone that knows the Bible well, and they can give you advice. Have no shame. Have no fear. And that's something that I have to overcome. I hope you guys could overcome all your fears and all your struggles. And you know what? I truly believe you can. Why? Because I'm here. I'm talking to you through this video because that's what God wanted me to do. And all we can do for each other is pray, be there, and always keep God in your heart. And smile. You know, what I noticed when I first went to Texas, everybody smiled. It made me feel good. Smile. Just say hello. It's not going to hurt anyone. That's all you need. Just say hello. I want to give praise to Helping Hands of my church. They're a group of people, of brothers and sisters that really go out and help not just members of the church, but people of the community. And I wish a lot of the churches out here do that dedication. Some of them do, some of them don't have the finances and the resources to do it. But what counts is the wanting of doing and helping. I want to give that shout out to them because they're a group of people that really help others in need, and not everybody takes time or wants to take a weekend, especially the weekend where they can be out fishing or riding their motorcycles or shopping, to go help someone move, even if it's just to take a simple chair from one room to another, or putting up a fence. And for anyone that wants to help them out, please go into their Facebook and go into the FBC Facebook, which is First Baptist Church of Saginaw, and any donations, 50 cents, 30 cents, it doesn't matter. Not just to Helping Hands, but to the church, because the church does distribute to help everyone. I mean, they got a good youth class. They go out and go to El Salvador and do missions. And I think it's the greatest thing where we can help from here. We could. When you think you can help, we could. You know, not all of us, like I said, have the talent of going out and preaching, but some of us have the talent. Hey, I can build a house. Okay, give your talents and put it into good use, you know, and where someone needs it, and you're not doing it for profit. You're doing it for yourself. You're doing it to help others. In the long run, I can guarantee you, you're going to receive a check. Yeah, the check of everlasting life, man. Who wouldn't want that check, huh? But I just try to make some of these scenarios a little more at ease, you know, trying to seem a little funny, but it's a important issue that we do take time, help other people, and look in the mirror sometimes and fix ourselves before we try to help someone else. And I had to do that for this whole month. I had to fix myself and look for that guidance, and I did. And I did by praying, and I know that my friends or my brothers in Christ, I'm not saying friends, but my brothers in Christ, I know that in something back of the head told them pray for him, and I get it because I'm here today, right? Hopefully I can do another video soon. It's like I said, it's also it's hard to get good contact in the sense of I want to ask questions or explain things that are a little different than talking about, okay, you need to do this and you need to do that. No, I can't tell you what to do, right? I can only guide you from my experience, right? And from what I know. And that doesn't mean that I know everything, right? So hopefully you guys like the video, or at least understand the video. What I would appreciate if you guys leave a comment, that way I know, besides Paul, you know, that way I know that I'm doing something right. And if not, it's okay, because that still has me here. And even if it's just Paul, right? But I love you guys all, and have a great Good Friday. Remember, he died for us. We should at least try to follow what he said we should do. Ain't that great? Somebody else died for you, so you don't have to go through that. That's incredible. Well, love you all, and to the next video, right? Make sure you hit that the like and subscribe button. Okay. Bye.